Right, let's get this set up here. How you doing, folks? I hope you're well. Bit of a back problem. Going on 2 weeks now, which is always nice. Thought I'd do a quick video on a first impressions tobacco, which you'll know about by the title of the video. So I'm just getting myself prepared. I have had a shitty day at work, absolutely full on, and I need a break. I need to relax. So I'm going to pour myself the last of some Gentleman Jack. I say the last, I also have a hip flask full here so I can have a proper dose. So recently, I say recently, not recently at all actually, for the last few years I've noticed that I'm really getting stuck into Virginias. Mostly straight Virginias, but Virginia Periques as well, and flakes, predominantly flakes. Now, the benchmark as far as I'm concerned for a good Virginia flake, cheers. Oh, feels like medicine. The benchmark for a good Virginia flake, in my opinion, was, and always has been, Germain's medium, which has been a go-to of mine for quite a number of years now. The problem, of course, with Germain's is that they are very hard to get hold of. Even over here in the UK, it's scarce. You know, Chinese market buys it all up in no time at all, and as soon as you know, I think I've said before that the retailers over here don't even put it on the websites. Oh, tinnitus. So, what alternatives are there? So one of the things I've been smoking quite a bit of in the last little while is Hamburger Wehrmaster. Can't remember whether or not I've ever done a review of that, but if I did, it would have been quite a few years ago now. But I thought I'd try a couple of others. And one of the ones I was recently watching, Bremen Pipe Smoker, doing a couple of things, running through a couple of tobaccos, and I noticed he mentioned this one here, which is Haymaker by HU. And I got an order in from Estevals fairly recently. I ordered a few tins of this stuff, one which has immediately been shrink wrapped and cellared, and I figured I'd share the opening and first try of this one with you folks, so let's give it a go. As far as I'm aware, this is a pure Virginia. Oh, there we go. If I can get into the tin, that is. Oh, there we go. Not sure if I mentioned, but I got a touch of arthritis in my middle finger. Right. Smells good. Smells very good. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. That actually looks like a sticker. It's vinyl. Sorry, I've got to check this out. Is that a sticker? Yeah, it's got that little lid on it, but the fact that it feels like it's vinyl makes it feel like a sticker. I might try and peel that later. Oh, hang on. Yep, it is a sticker. It is a sticker. Oh, great. A sticker I can stick on one of my flasks, or on the lid of the tin, or the jar, or whatever. Good to know, anyway. Yeah, but look at that. Smells great. It's no ketchup at all there, but you can see that it's a really nice, bright Virginia flake. It looks really good quality. Anything we know we get from HU is going to be cracking quality. Now, let's give some first impressions. So it's citrusy. There is that lovely citrus flavour, or scent I should say. Lovely, beautiful hayfield smell. Reminds me of summer. Now, it's a flake, obviously, but it's actually quite compressed together. Now these feel like they're pretty stuck together, and it's feeling quite dry to the touch. Quite dry to the touch. A lot drier than I would expect it to be. And indeed, it's proving difficult to peel. I don't think I'm going to be able to successfully manage to separate one bit of flake, but it doesn't separate easily. No big drama at all. Bending it, it cracks. When you bend the flake, it cracks. So yeah, I think definitely a little on the dry side of this. I'd certainly expect a bit more moisture, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. No chance of folding and stuffing these flakes. They're too dry and brittle. So it's literally just I'm going to roll and rub out in my hand here. Oh yeah, and they are disintegrating quite quickly, it has to be said. So no folding and stuffing, I'm just packing it in fairly loosely. Making a bloody mess of it, to be honest. Yeah, that's really fragile stuff. Fragile stuff. So, going to smoke it in the Friday Savinelli. Although it's only Tuesday. Because what the hell. But yeah, Bremen Pipe Smoker did a video of this stuff a little while ago, and I've seen a couple of other videos on the YouTube, and I thought I'd give it a go. Because the thing about Virginias is they do keep very well, and although it's generally a summertime smoke, excuse me, they're a good all-rounder, aren't they? So, oh yes. That's it. That's what I've been looking forward to all day. So I guess actually, the thing you can do with these stickers is use it as a replacement and get rid of that health warning. There you go, that's what it's designed for. Now, as with most tobaccos, this has going to benefit, even though it's a little dry. This will benefit from a bit of airtime, I think, just because I think it needs that time to breathe and expand and take on the ambience of the air around it. What? A couple of lighting issues. Well, this will bite you. I reckon if you chonked on this one too hard, it will bite you. Anyway, the reason I put in an order with Estivals again recently, 2 orders, 2 very quick consecutive orders. I haven't really jumped onto the whole STG buying out Mac Baren and Sutliff bandwagon. Because that's capitalism for you, and at the end of the day, STG is going to STG. It's going to dominate. You know, it's a dominant in the marketplace, in the tobacco marketplace. It's going to buy out smaller companies, absorb them, absorb their production, take on some of their names, sell a few key things here and there, brands that people recognize and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's eliminating competition. So I can't really be bothered to jump into that whole debate. But what I will say is I'm fortunate in so much as, in fairness, I don't really smoke a great deal of Mac Baren blends or Sutliff. In actual fact, I don't think I really can recall having Sutliff tobaccos at all. From my understanding, they're those aromatic, sweet, sickly sweet, give you diabetes American shite. So I have no interest in them. But there are a few blends from Mac Baren that I'm quite partial to. And so basically I just ordered myself a few things which are most likely going to go the way of the dinosaur, or the way of the Mick McQuaid plugs and bits and pieces like that. So I've got myself a few tins stashed by of the Rustica, because that's pretty damn good smoke, has to be said. And a couple of tins, a couple of 100 grams of dark twist roll cake. I believe a couple of the other Mac Baren ones, which I do quite like, are going to stay in production anyway, from what I understand. So yeah, the reality is the STG buyout of Mac Baren and Sutliff doesn't really affect me that much. So I'm not panic buying or anything like that. Just, and the reality is I smoke so little that, you know, the half dozen or so tins of stuff that I've got will probably last me years anyway. And by that time, who knows what happens. In reality, I have a preference for tobaccos which are either from Gareth Hogarth or the German HU blends, Dan Tobacco. A few bits and pieces like that. So in reality, it's not, you know, it's not a major issue for me. I'm not really short of going, I'm not afraid of going short of the tobaccos that I really like. But still, I understand why people are upset about it. Of course, it's always a real shame when yeah, when these things go sideways, but that's capitalism for you, folks. I have to say, I am having problems with this pipe so far. Not easy to pack because it's so sort of stuck together. All those flakes are so stuck together, and it's so crumbly. I mean, it's virtually actually turning into dust. It really is quite dry. I might rehydrate some of that, see how it gets on. Well, flavour-wise, it's fantastic. Flavour-wise, it's exactly what you're looking for. If you like straight Virginias, you'll like this. There is definitely somewhat of a hay meadow taste to it. You know, when the hay has reached that era, that time of the summer, and it's being cut, and the air's full of pollen. And if you've got really good quality hay, you know, from a nice, diverse, species-rich grassland hayfield, the kind you don't really get anymore. That's what this tastes like. It's got that sort of rich pollen, hay pollen taste to it. It's really nice, really, really nice. We can manage these the moisture level. Which, as I say, is not a big deal. Definitely a cracking flake. And I believe you can buy this in 250 gram bags, as well as the 50 gram tin. So, excuse me, definitely one to look out for. Highly recommended. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Virginias. I remember when I started this YouTube channel some 10 years or so ago, I was very much a burley guy. I was all about that sort of cocoa nibs flavour of the burley. Nutty, dark coffee, cocoa kind of flavours. And I still am, I guess. But yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I have very much gravitated towards the straight Virginias or the good quality vapors. And this would definitely count amongst them. In terms of cost, I think I paid about €10 a tin, something like that. Maybe a little more, don't remember. Let's pop that down and give it another smell. Let's give you another look of it. Let's take it out of its little tin here. So yeah, very typical, but as I say, with the exception that it's dry, that kind of cake, although you can see that it's split up into flakes, is really quite brittle and dry. I don't want to break them apart too much. I'm going to pop this into a jar, into a kilner jar, with a little pad and some distilled water. I'm going to hydrate it a little bit, because I think that might bring it to life a little bit. But yeah, another great quality straight Virginia from HU Tobacco that does exactly what it says on the tin. And I tell you, after the day that I've had, it's exactly what I want. Yeah, very unusual for HU to have such a dry tin. I wonder if that's just a Duff one. I must admit I was a little bit suspicious because when I got the two come through, this is the one I kept from shrink. I didn't shrink wrap. I shrink wrapped one immediately, and this was the one I didn't, because when I shook it, I could hear that tobacco inside, sort of rattling around a bit, shaking a bit, which you don't usually get. So, so I had a suspicion that this might be a little dry. It didn't feel like the tin was compromised. Maybe the batch itself was dry before it went into the tin. Maybe it's just the way Haymaker is. Maybe one of you guys can tell me whether or not that's the case. Well, yeah, good quality stuff. I love that little picture of a hayfield. Very evocative of the both the aroma and the flavour. And I have to say, I could very, very much see myself kicking back underneath an oak tree at the edge of a freshly cut hayfield, just breathing in that pollen and smoking this. So, that's it, my first impressions of Haymaker. Very nice indeed. And if I'd taken a little bit of time to prepare it better, I probably wouldn't be having to do so many relights. Anywho, you folks take care. I will catch you all again soon. Bye bye.